everybody. Good evening, everybody. I know we're all doing great. This is We Talk Football, and we are here to analyze the World Cup, which will be played in Qatar on the 20th of November 2022. So I know, but right now there's a high sugar rush of fans running around the stadium, running around the area, and there are some friendly matches that are also going on in the same Qatar, because I know right now the atmosphere is going to be very tense, and we are looking forward to a great competition. So I am Ostino to bring you the host of the analyst, and the rest of the analyst members here. We have
Andy, we have Chris,
and we have Reginald.
All right, so we are all going to be giving you sports news, trending news concerning the World Cup. We're also going to be giving you some predictions, and we are going to be analyzing games based on statistics and facts. All right, so based on the World Cup and seeing that we are now going to play it in Qatar. It's going to be played in Qatar. First time is going there, and we've heard a lot about this competition. So I want to know your point of view concerning this World Cup. So what do you have to say, Andy?
Generally, I think this World Cup is going to be a successful one because it's in the Middle East, and the Middle East is hosting this World Cup. We know how powerful they are in terms of facilities and stuff. So I think we are going to have a successful World Cup.
All right, that's great. So I want to know, what is your take on the World Cup, Reginald?
Well, I think it's going to be a very successful World Cup, because looking at a country like Qatar, which have very nice facilities, and then you look at their stadiums, and then they are very nice. It's going to be very enjoyable looking at the countries that are in, and then it's a first World Cup for a country like Wales and some other countries. I mean, it's going to be very fun.
Okay. So that's great. So how do you think this question is for you, because see this? How do you think the World Cup is going to start off? Like, how is it going to start off? Is it going to start up in a dramatic style? Is it going to start up in a cool way? Is it going to start with a hit? How do you think it's going to start, based on where we are going to play the competition and the fans? Looking at the fact that football is not all that recognized in the Asian side, how do you think, in the Middle East rather, how do you think the World Cup is going to start off? How do you think it's going to go?
Okay. The World Cup, I say, is going to be a wonderful World Cup. The players that wanted to join this World Cup. You see, this a football festival where everyone wants to prove something. You understand? Yeah. We get players from clubs, and then you get everyone looking at you. So I know that this World Cup is going to be a memorable one. Yes, it's going to be a nice one, wonderful.
How do you start off?
Well, okay, the first match between Qatar and then Ecuador, that's the host nation playing against Ecuador. I think it's going to be a blast. Yes, it's going to be a blast.
Okay, nice word. It's going to be a blast. Okay, that's great to hear. So now, you see, the World Cup is now a very big game where we have 32 teams playing in 8 groups, and so many continents and confederations have brought out their representative countries. How do you think it's going to go, based on, like, if you're analyzing it based on the continent? What continent do you think is going to go far in this competition? What continent do you think is going to go for the prize? Where do you think the champions will come out from? In what continent? Let me hear from you, Reginald.
Well, I think it's going to come from the European side, even though the dominance is from the South America, but it's going to come from the European side, because the European side have some countries like France, which won previously, some countries like Germany, Spain, Portugal. I mean, having a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, who is a very good finisher. I mean, and some other countries, which are very worrisome. Like Belgium, which nearly went to the finals during the previous World Cups. So I think it's Europe that is going to dominate.
Okay, that's great. So looking at maybe their league standard and every other thing, they're going to go far. Okay, that's great. But what do you think will happen if you see this European team I don't know, because there's an approach to this. The World Cup comes with a lot of drama. So you think the South American side, the Asian side, the African side are going to sleep? And what do you think about this?
I think um, this time around, the South American side is going to give a very good account of themselves, and especially to the African continent, because um, we've seen a lot of talent coming out of Africa of late. So I think Africa too is going to prove themselves. But for me, I think this time around is going to come out from South America.
Okay, okay. So I want to ask you, because see this, I've heard South America from one side, and I've heard Europe from the other side, seeing that they are well known for their football tactics, and their history tells a lot. So what do you think? Or do you think Africa will stand a chance of winning this World Cup?
Yeah, yeah. I think Africa has a chance of winning this World Cup because you see, when we talk about some of the African countries, um, Ghana like this, Ghana, I'm sure, new talent has been introduced. So I'm sure they came with a vision that they want to achieve something. You understand? So football is not about the team or your players or what you have, but it's about the teamwork and then putting the goal into the net. You understand? So Africa also have a chance. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear from you, because you see this. But let's talk this through. Andy, you also made mention of Africa doing something great. How far do you think Africa is going to go in this competition? How far do you think Africa will progress in this World Cup?
Um, with the African side, I think so far Morocco has one of the strongest squad, followed by Senegal, then Ghana. But looking at their squad depth, I think the highest they can get to is maybe let's say the quarterfinals or the semifinals. Yes, looking at the squad depth in these three major countries I just mentioned, I think maybe the quarterfinals or the semifinals.
Okay, okay. So Reginald, we have five African teams representing in this World Cup. We have Ghana, we have Cameroon, we have Senegal, we have Morocco, and we have Tunisia. These five nations, which one do you think will progress more than the other?
Well, for me, I think a country like Senegal is very, very strong and would go far because looking at their group, the tougher side for them is going to be maybe the Dutch, that's the Netherlands. It's easy for them to conquer Qatar and Ecuador. So I don't know who they are going to meet in the round of 16. But when you look at the other teams like Ghana, Ghana has a revenge chance for both Portugal and Uruguay, but those sides are very tough. You look at Cameroon, they have Serbia, Switzerland, and Brazil, which is a very tough one. You look at Morocco, they have Croatia and Belgium, which were in the top four last World Cup. So it's going to be very, very tough for those countries. But when you look at Senegal in their group, it's very, easy for them. So I think they can even progress from the group stages, which may lead to some other qualifications.
All right, that's wonderful. So let's see. Based on squad depth and statistics, which side or what team or what country in particular do you think has the strongest squad depth for, or has the best squad selection for this World Cup? Christy, let me hear from you.
Okay. For me, I think it's Brazil. Brazil, because looking at the squad for Brazil, everyone is a talent. You understand? When we talk football, we talk Brazil. Yes, and then you can even substitute all their first 11, and then you still get good players to play for them. So the team with the best quality or quality players, I think, is Brazil. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying Brazil is you're saying Brazil is the quality team here, the team with the highest or with the best squad depth. Well, okay, I might buy that idea looking at the fact that their backline is well arranged, and their midfield is also well placed. They also have a good line of attack, and with their tactics, I think they are good to go. They are good to go. So I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. So yeah, I think we also need to talk about these figures who will be making their last, who might be making their last appearances the for their countries in this competition. So we have the likes of Lionel Messi, we have Cristiano Ronaldo, we have Neymar Jr., we have Suarez. You see, these four players are telling individuals who are going to take their last bow at this World Cup. How do you think they are going to show themselves in this competition? How do you think they are going to do how do you think they are going to perform? How they going to do their last show? I want to hear from you, Andy.
Okay, so I'll start off with Lionel Messi. Um, in his previous World Cups, he used to play for Barcelona, but this time around, it seems okay. He has changed his team to PSG, and in Barcelona too, he used to play in a certain style, which people felt it wasn't. It affected him whenever he came to the national team, but when he switched to PSG, we have seen that he has won his Copa America trophy. So I think this time around he's going to be a different person altogether, and we are going to see a different Lionel Messi.
What about Ronaldo? What about
Ronaldo, Ronaldo, you know there's issues in the camp of Portugal, but I think Ronaldo is Ronaldo. So yeah, we can expect Ronaldo stuff from Ronaldo.
Speaking of Neymar, how do you think he's also going to do his last bow?
Neymar, well, Brazil is already a favorite in this competition, so I think Neymar is going to show himself, as we already know. So yeah.
And Suarez.
For Suarez, I don't see Uruguay going very far. So I think maybe the group stages, and Uruguay may be kicked out of the group stages.
Okay. Okay, so now we are heading on to predictions. I want to know what you feel concerning this World Cup. I want to know how you're going to analyze things based on your own point of view. So, question this: tell me, who do you think will be your highest four? You can state based on ranking. Who do you think will be your first four at the end of the tournament? Who will be your first four? Let me hear from you.
Okay. My best for okay. The first one will go to Brazil. Yes, Brazil, Germany, England, and then I think Argentina. Yes, these are my top team. Yes.
Okay, that's good. So let me hear from you. Ready?
Well, I think Brazil is always the favorites, and Portugal, and then I would say Argentina, and the last one maybe I would say Germany. Yeah, Germany.
Okay, what about you, Andy?
Okay, I think for me, the fourth position is going to be Ghana. Third is going to be Belgium. Second, Germany. And first, Argentina.
All right. Okay, that's great. So from the look of things here, I think maybe some people are going to be outstanding, people that we don't even expect they're going to do great things because some people want to prove themselves and show how good they can be in this competition. So looking at the way things are going, who do you think or who do you expect to come out with the award of the Golden Boot? The Golden Boot. Let's start with the Golden Boot.
Well, for me, I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo because he has been criticized for a long period of time in during the Manchester United era, and then he's now scoring goals. And then I think Ronaldo is a player you cannot predict. And when it comes to serious situations like the World Cup, look at his performance at the previous World Cup. He scored 4 goals in the group stages, which was one of the best performances ever by a player in the group stage. If he had progressed far, he would have scored more than the 4 goals. So I think this World Cup, he can't do it alone. He has a strong team that can help him, that can give him the accurate passes for him to, bank in the goals. So I think Ronaldo is gonna make his name using this World Cup. So I think he's gonna score more goals and he's gonna be a top scorer.
All right, that's great. That's great. So Andy, let me hear from you. Who do you think is going to be the highest assist provider in this competition?
Oh, okay. I think it's going to be either Lionel Messi or the usual suspect Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, what about the Golden Glove? Who do you think that is the keeper that's going to make the difference in this tournament? We don't know, but just predict. Who do you think is going to be the Golden Glove winner?
Well, I think this time the Golden Glove is gonna go for Alisson Becker, because looking at the Brazil defense, is even though the defense is gonna, prevent a little bit of shots, and then the goalkeeper Alisson himself is a very good goalkeeper. So I don't know. I know Brazil is gonna progress to the last four or maybe to the last two, and I'm seeing Alisson as the best keeper.
Okay, but we are missing out something. Let's not forget that we have good keepers like the likes of Manuel Neuer, like the likes of Thibaut Courtois. These keepers, they can prove themselves in situations where they are most needed. They are very good at coming out when they are most needed. So these keepers will want to prove themselves in the World Cup to let the world know that not just in their club but also for their nation they can do something great. So how do you think this kind of competition is going to go? Seeing the from the fact that you are saying that Alisson Becker is going to be the keeper, do you think it's going to be that easy for him? Because you see, because we don't only count clean sheets, we also count saves. So if you are saying that they're going to have good backup defense, which will help him, do you think he's going to get that chance to make enough saves? Who do you think is going to be able to cross his path? Because the likes of Belgium, the defense might be a bit porous, so it will give Courtois the chance to show himself by making great saves as he has been doing in Real Madrid. And the same thing with Manuel Neuer. There can be little leakage that will also lead to shots, and Manuel Neuer is very good at savings. So how do you think Alisson is going to come out in this kind of situation?
Well, I think it's not gonna be easy. Maybe for me, I said Alisson, but it might be a situation whereby Alisson is not gonna make it the best keeper, because you look at Manuel Neuer, you look at Thibaut Courtois, who is now the latest best keeper. You look at that keeper; he's very good. He makes vital saves. You look at the Champions League finals against Liverpool; his saves were very vital. If it wasn't for his saves, it would have led to something different. And look at Manuel Neuer, who is a very experienced goalkeeper, very very good by all standards. So for me, I say it's Alisson, but I don't think it's gonna be easy for him, because looking at the goalkeepers like Courtois and Manuel Neuer, they're also gonna prove themselves.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So let's not forget we have fresh talent, and we have young boys who are making their debut in the World Cup. The likes of Jude Bellingham, Musiala, Saka, name them. There are so many of them. So let's look at these boys. Who do you think is going to progress to be the young player of the tournament this time around? Let me hear from you, because you say this.
Okay. Yeah, we do have young talents. We have Musiala, we have Bellingham, yes. But I think Jude Bellingham is going to prove something, because even when he was playing in his club team, he is now one of the most expensive midfielder ever. So I think he's going to prove something, yes. And he's also an exceptional player, because all the four Premier League UCL matches he played, he contributed by scoring a goal in each UCL match. So I think he is going to prove something, yes.
Okay, let's look at this squad, England. You talk about Jude Bellingham. We have a lot of young talent in England. We have the likes of Phil Foden, we have the likes of Jude Bellingham, as you mentioned. We also have Saka. Don't forget Saka is there. Don't forget he's there. So do you think there's going to be a kind of competition between these young boys to prove themselves to the world and they are worth buying, or their prices are actually worth where they are right now, or where they place them in their club is also the same way where they are when they go to, or even better when they go to their nation? So do you think there's going to be a little competition, or there's going to be a good synergy, or what do you think? What do you just think of this squad, seeing that we have young talents in the squad who are ready to prove themselves?
Yes, there's going to be a competition, yes, because you know this World Cup is a festival, a football festival where scouting is being done. Yeah, you see the coaches in the whole world watches to scout players. Yes, so your performance speaks for you in this World Cup. So I think there's going to be a competition. Yes, competition. Yes, so that's my.
Great. So now, who do you think is going to be our overall best player? Who's going to come out with the golden ball award? Let me hear from you, Reginald.
This World Cup, um, looking at the players and everything, it's very difficult to predict. So maybe I would say, very difficult to predict though. I would say maybe the likes of Neymar or the likes of Messi, the likes of Luka Modric, the likes of Ronaldo, since they are playing their last World Cup, would, I mean, give it the all for their last World Cup. So I think those four players are my favorites to win the player of the tournament.
Okay, I would like to hear from everybody. So let me hear from you, Andy.
Okay, so I'll be shortlisting a couple of players, but I can't predict who is going to actually be or going to win the Golden Ball. I think people have forgotten about Oshua of Mexico.
Yeah.
He does average stuff in his club for Club America in Mexico, but everybody knows his performances at the World Cup. So I think maybe he's going to get the Golden Ball. Messi, Ronaldo, the usual suspects, Lewandowski, those big players. Yeah, for me, that's the short listing I'm doing for now. But I can't predict or pinpoint the person getting there.
All right. So let me hear from you. Let me hear from you, Kwesi, this. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure about who is going to win the golden ball. Yes, you know, we have Ronaldo and Messi trying to prove something, but let's not forget, no, Karim Benzema took the Ballon d'Or, and then you see from that you can see he's determined to prove something in this World Cup. Yes, from some of his statements you can see he's very determined, and so Karim Benzema also has a chance, and then Mbappe, yes, Mbappe also has a chance to also win this golden ball. So I can't predict for now, but these are the four players: Ronaldo, Messi, Benzema, Mbappe, and then Lewandowski can also prove something.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's your own um, opinion. Okay. So now let's move into trending news. So we just heard recently that Christopher Nkuku has been um, removed from the squad due to an injury in the training camp. And then we are also hearing that he has been replaced by the striker at HN Frankfurt, right? Yeah. So yeah. So you see, we had other options like Alex Sanchez-Maximan, we had Martial, and some other talented players who were around. Also, yeah, I'm waiting to hear their names called up. But this young boy, age 23, was picked ahead of the other veteran players. What do you think? Why do you think the coach made such a decision, or do you think the decision made was right? Let me hear from you, Andy.
I think the coach went for stats because looking at this young guy, he has 5 goals this season and 9 assists. So I think, and comparing it to Alan Maxima, who has about 2-3 goals this season and a couple of assists. So I think that's why the coach out for this young guy.
All right, that's great. So we also heard rumors that Kamavinga was the one who injured Nkuku in the training camp. I mean, if you look at the video, you also see that. Yeah, I think there was. I don't just know how to explain, but we could see Kamavinga in the way of Christopher Nkuku, which led to the injury. So what do you think? Do you think it was just maybe a collision, or Kamavinga actually meant it, or what do you think?
I don't think Kamavinga meant it because Nkuku is a very vital player when it comes to the French squad. When you look at, for me, when you take players like Benzema, you take players like Mbappe, I think Christopher Nkuku is the next player you can watch in the French national team. He's a very vital player. He scores, he banks in goals, provides chances for, his fellow attackers to get in the goals, and then he's very good. So I don't think he would do such a thing. He would do such a thing. Intentionally. It was by mistake though, so I don't think he would do something like that.
Okay. I actually buy your idea. So okay, yeah, I get the fact that he didn't mean it, and also if you were to ask me, I will also say that from my opinion, I don't think Kamavinga actually meant it because first, if he wanted a sport, he's not a striker. Kamavinga is not a striker. He's a deep line midfielder. He won't do such a thing just to take Nkuku off. I mean, like, why? Why should you do such a thing? He's a normal human being like us. And if you check comments, you can see people throwing racial comments on Kamavinga. Meanwhile, Kamavinga is actually wishing Nkuku well, and Nkuku has no intention of making. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So maybe it was just a collision from what they said, or Nkuku missed his timing, or he went with the wrong foot. I think that could be the reason, but nobody knows. So let's also look at Sadio Mane. You know, he's a vital player, and he's also the captain of the national team of Senegal, who has done great exploits with them in the CAF Cup, and also he also did something great with them in the qualifiers to knock out the Egypt for the second time. So do you think his absence is going to cause something great in the Senegalese team, or you think there will be a way to fill his place up in the team? Let me hear from you, Sylvester Coker.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's going to have an effect. It's going to have an effect on the team, yes, because Sadio Mane is one player who plays as attacker and then also defense. Yes, and he has some form of determination. Yes, so it's going to have an effect on Sadio Mane and then the team. Thank you.
All right. That's wonderful. Okay, so let's look at Hazard. You know, Hazard has been having ups and downs. He's having little problem since he left Chelsea to Real Madrid. He has been having problem due to injury, and he hasn't gotten much play time to show himself. What do you think he's going to? How do you think he's going to maximize this opportunity of the World Cup? Let me hear from you, Reginald.
Well, I think looking at the Belgium national team per se, I don't think they're gonna be very successful in the World Cup because looking at their key players like Eden Hazard, which has had a very bad form since 2019 to now due to injury cases and stuff. But I think Hazard is still Eden Hazard, and he's gonna play very well in the World Cup, but it's not gonna be very. It's not gonna be like the Hazard we know. The Hazard we know. Yeah, he's gonna play very well too, but I don't think he's gonna be the best Hazard we know.
All right, so that's great. So you see, Firmino and Ivan Toney, these two people were not selected, as well as Sergio Ramos, which we know is the solid rock of Spain. Do you think Spain is going to cope well without Sergio Ramos? Let me hear from you, Andy.
I think this time around, Luis Enrique needed to call somebody like Ramos into the team, because looking at their backline, I don't think they have a solid backline this time around. And Firmino, I think the position he plays in, there's a lot of players who has more quality than he has this time around. That's why I think he didn't get a squad.
Okay. That's great. What about Ivan Toney? Let me hear from you. Say this. Ivan Toney is also another crucial player who should have been selected into the squad. Why do you think he's not there?
Well, yeah, Ivan Toney is a very good um, striker. Yeah, yeah. Looking at the last match against City, scoring 2 goals, winning the match for Brentford. Yes, he's a very good. So I think it was a weak decision by the coach not to call him up to the team. Yes.
All right. That's good. That's good. So, who do you think is going to be the player that they is going to be our rejected stone this time around? You know, every World Cup we have this rejected stone player. You know, what I mean by that, like, you know, this player that people don't really see him do anything, but when he starts, people only know by hearing his name. You understand? So, who do you think is uh, 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 um, that player that's going to show the world that people didn't really expect him to do something great, but he's going to do something? Let me hear from you, Andy.
I think Hakim Ziyech, because looking at the goal he scored today, marvelous goal from the center line all the way to the pole. I think this time around he's going to show, especially Graham Potter, not to be putting him on the bench during the Saturday matches.
Okay, okay. Reginald, today we saw a couple of friendly games. We saw a match from Ghana against Switzerland, where Ghana emerged as the winners 2-0, and Portugal also played Nigeria 4-0. Senegal also played Iran 1-1. You see, African teams playing. Now we know Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup, but we are going to focus more on Portugal and their play style. Even without Ronaldo, they could hold mighty Nigeria and give Nigeria 4-0. And then Ghana was able to beat Switzerland 2-0 with the kind of squad depth they brought into the game. Seeing that Switzerland came with a good squad, Ghana also came with, let's say, an encouraging squad as well. But Ghana was able to fuse in their combination. The chemistry worked well for them to lead the game 2-0. Reginald, how do you think Ghana is going to respond against Portugal? Since that that's the first game they're going to play, how do you think they're going to take it? How serious do you think Ghana is going to be? Do you think Ghana is going to beat Portugal easily, seeing the way they gave it to Nigeria today?
I don't think it's not going to be an easy journey for Ghana, because you look at the Portugal team. Let me even take Cristiano Ronaldo out. You look at their defenders, they have the likes of Ruben Diaz, they have Joao Cancelo, they have Diogo Dalot, they have Pepe, very, very aggressive defender. So when you look at some guy like Pepe, and then you are bringing attackers like Ghana is bringing attackers like Iñaki Williams, Jordan and Dede Ayew, Mohamed Kudus. I mean, those kind of attackers are to me, are very easy for players like Ruben Diaz and Pepe to handle, because the aggressiveness and the strength they have, they can bully them with the aggressiveness and the strength they have. But you look at the Ghana team, I mean, they have the pace, they have the strength, because the black the black blood. So I think the pace, the strength they have, they can also press it on the Portuguese. They can press on the Portuguese national team. But looking at the standard and then the quality where the Portugal national team have, it's not going to be easy for Ghana.
Okay, but you know this is a controversial decision. It's a controversial decision. Let me hear from you, Andy. What do you think is going to come? Is going to happen with this Portugal and Ghana? You know, everybody wants to have a fine start. Portugal will be looking forward to their first win on their first game, based on the standard they have been placed. Ghana too also want to prove someone, or to prove themselves to Africa and to the world that they have not come to joke. Seeing the way they performed in the friendly, do you think Ghana is going to start up in a fine way, or what do you think is going to be the outcome of that match?
Oh, I think it's going to be a difficult match for both teams, but I don't see Portugal beating Ghana by a higher margin. Maybe a 1-0, because looking at our last game we played, that was in 2014 World Cup. They won by 2-1, which we all know that game the Ghanaians didn't play all out. And I don't agree with Reginald saying players like Kudus and Iñaki Williams can be bullied by the likes of dead legs Pepe, Luis Diaz, who is now an average defender. I don't think so, because Van Dijk, even Kudus scored a goal at Anfield where Van Dijk was even standing there just close to him, but he was able to score a goal. So I don't think I don't agree with Reginald saying he's going to bully him.
Okay, so dead legs, as you say, Ruben Diaz and
I said
Pepe, yes, Pepe dead legs and Ruben. Okay, because I want to rephrase, so I'll be sure that that's what. Okay, so quoting you, Pepe is like an average defender, and then Ruben Diaz will be easy for Kudus and Inaki Williams to go through. Are you too sure? Because you see, in the Premier League right now, Man City is having a great form. Though they are not on the top of the table, Man City is having a great form, and Ruben Diaz is in their last line of defense, and they have been very good at keeping clean sheets and conceding less. Don't you think that should be also a problem for them? Don't you think? Even Pepe is also outstanding with Porto. He's outstanding with Porto. If you watch their games, their recent games. So Sylvester, do you think you have anything to say concerning this clash between Portugal and Ghana?
Yeah, I do have something to say. You know, the only way Portugal will win against Ghana is maybe unless Ronaldo gets the stomach upset again. You understand? yeah, unless Ronaldo. So that was just by the way. Okay, I have this feeling that, you know, this time Ghana has this determination to prove something. I think Ghana has a chance against Portugal because now in the camp of Portugal there is a misunderstanding. You understand, baby? And then you see, when a team has they have strong players, you know what's going to happen. Everyone wants to prove himself. So the only way Portugal can win against Ghana will be the chemistry, the teamwork, the understanding. But I know that Ghana also has a point in winning this match. Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. So before we close the podcast, I would like to hear from you what you have to say to your fans based on this World Cup. What do you have to say to the listeners based on this World Cup? Let me hear from you first, Reginald.
I think this World Cup is something. I mean, it's gonna be a surprising World Cup because everyone is saying the favorites is Brazil, but we don't know. Because looking at the last World Cup, Croatia came from nowhere. No one expected Croatia to, get to the finals, but they got to the finals. So looking at this World Cup, the likes of Netherlands, who are also now in the World Cup, which they are very, worrisome, having players like Memphis Depay, having defenders, strong and solid defenders like Virgil van Dijk and Matthias de Ligt. Now looking at Germany, who is trying to, retrieve their form, looking at the Spanish national team. So I think this World Cup is going to be a very surprising one.
Okay, that's great. What about you, Chris?
Yeah. The what I think about the World Cup is, we've been talking about Brazil. Yes, good. You know, Brazil have the players, and then not to forget, Canada also wants to prove something.
Because they are the
Yes,
US side.
they are the newest side, and then they will want to make history in this World Cup. Okay, but you know, France also being the defending champions are also going to prove something. So I want you to know that everyone has the chance to win this World Cup. Okay, yeah.
Okay, what about you, Andy?
Okay, so me, I'm a Ghanaian, so I say go Blasters, go.
All right. Now he's being patriotic and more personal here. Okay, so this is a World Cup where there'll be new history, there'll be new drama, and there'll be new stories to talk about. So people listening, let's expect great things from the World Cup. Me personally, I'm not expecting less. I'm expecting something great. I know this World Cup is going to blow our minds because we're going to see things. You know, football is now advanced, so we're going to see great things in this World Cup. So, my people, this is We Talk Football. Next time, we'll give you better news than this, and we're going to talk more on the World Cup. So, you follow us for more. Yeah. See you next time. This is We Talk Football.